For 11 years, I have come to you guys. I have laughed. I have used this to talk about my fascination with figures and all the stuff I like, all the major food groups. And I have came and talked about political things and human rights and all this kind of things and the way people treat me and the way people treat others, racism, politically correctness, quote unquote, and you know, prejudice and discrimination. And yes, God forbid, more things will happen to me, maybe even worse. But I got God on my side, and I hope and pray that everything will go well with my life, and you guys enjoy your life and live it up. Live it up to the best. And I love you guys, and thank you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, maybe we're gonna get bumped in the road. Maybe the most horrific thing will happen to me, but you know what? I gave it my all. God is on my side, and everything is in His hands. I just want to say that in my last year of high school, things didn't go so well. I was very successful. I was well liked, but I really didn't have that one friend or any friend that I could say that would keep in touch with me. But I was very successful and I had fun, but one major thing ruined that. Consolidated Bus Company is still around today. It's a school bus company. But really, they don't do the right things by their clientele, and they don't take care of the kids. In my last year of high school, at barely 17 years old, I was still a kid, a minor. I had a nice Haitian bus driver, quiet guy, a real religious guy. Most people claim that they're religious, but this was a real religious guy. Most Haitians say that they're religious and not, and that comes from my friend Anthony, Saint Amour. He talks so bad about his own culture. I don't even think he likes being Asian, to be honest with you. But that Haitian driver left. Gene was such a nice guy. My family loved him. I loved him. And then they had this guy. He was like a wannabe comedian. So this asshole thought he was from the islands. He looked Puerto Rican. He looked Black American. This motherfucker just looked mixed. He looked like he was The Rock's cousin. I thought I was the most mixed motherfucker ever. This guy beats the cake. But I shouldn't even compare him to The Rock, because I like The Rock. And this guy was just a cock sucker. But the thing about it is that he would give me candy and he liked me and he thought I was the life of the party on the bus. Till he started calling this little boy's mom a whore. There was another disabled kid that was too stupid to understand the fact that the guy was making fun of him because he was Asian and Chinese. But he was so stubborn and wanted to do things his way. He was hard-headed, fucking hard-headed. And they actually told Tong Lee that if you take a string and put it over your eyes, you could use that as a blindfold. And I thought that was the most horrible thing. And he said, come on, what do they really put in Chinese food? What do they really, really put? What's the secret? So then he started telling kids to kiss me. He started telling kids to wipe their snot and shake my hand. He started doing all this type of things. And I was like, yo, mind your place. You know, act your age and stuff. I'm a teenager and I freaking don't act like that. You know, and then there was a Puerto Rican matron. She was good when the Haitian guy Jean was there. You know, she seemed quiet. I swear this bitch probably was on some kind of crack or weed because she always wears sunglasses even in the winter. So honestly, I stopped talking to all of them. And it was the worst 5 months of my life, 3 to 5 months, because they would make jokes on my behalf like I was a grown ass man in front of my face because they figured I couldn't do nothing. And it came to a head one day because I was training for the Special Olympics and I would carry a water bottle on the side of me because I really didn't eat in the mornings, which was bad because I used to wake up like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I told this story before. I was the first one to be picked up and the last one dropped off. Like I would fall asleep on my books. I would get home almost 5 o'clock at night, and yeah, I didn't like my high school because it was like that Coney Island area, and that was like the other half of Brooklyn, the other side of Brooklyn, because I lived in Park Slope, you know, downtown Brooklyn. So the thing about it is that like I didn't say nothing to them, and then one day I went to take a sip of my water. This asshole looks up from the visor and goes, "Sorry, you can't drink nothing." So I didn't say nothing. So then when they were putting me on the lift, um, I told my granddad, my dad, in every sense of the word, I said, "Dad, what should I do with this?" And I'm going up on the ramp, and he goes, "You could drink it. It's not like it's a soda. You're not eating. It's water." And then the matron goes in my ear, "Not on my bus. He think he could run the school, but not on my bus." And then he was trying to say, yeah, well, he can't really drink or eat or nothing like that and stuff like that. But the guy was giving us hard candy and cookies. So then they did this whole barrage where they would make fun of me and say, "I don't give a damn if he drinks a damn hose and die." And the lady said, "Oh, well, mind you, I'm 16, 17 years old and I'm disabled. I'm a quadriplegic. What can I do to them?" And he's laughing in the visor. I never liked that asshole. He really needed to grow the fuck up. He was a real asshole and he was a cop too, supposedly. As dumb as he was, who knows what the fuck he was. Because obviously he was cheap as fuck with some of the stories he would tell. And, you know, they were saying all kind of stuff and talking about a kid, mind you, you know? And I went home and told my family, like, they said they don't give a damn if I choke or die and all this kind of things that I could, as long as they got the order from the company, I could drink a fucking hose for all they care. And then on top of that, the matron didn't tie down my chairs with the tie downs properly. I was tilting and jerking all over the place. So then one day I had to talk to the asshole because he was the only reasonable one. Because that Loli Puerto Rican bitch turned out to be a real bitch. A real miserable, lousy human being she was. And he told me, you gotta tell her yourself, because I saw him going to school. And so he told her, and then he said, next time you gotta tell her yourself. And then so she was stomping and doing all this kind of stupid thing. He goes, what, you fixing the potholes? And then he was talking about me behind my back like I didn't figure it out, the jackass that he is. And he said, yeah, what, you fixing the potholes? And then he started laughing. You got nothing to laugh about, dude. You driving a freaking bus, and obviously you were single, cause nobody wanted you, bro. You know, like, get over yourself. And the ignorant things that you used to say, coming from a minority, dude, fuck you. And then on top of that, you know, he didn't know my disability. He didn't know how sick I was. And fucking with me, curse you and your family.